Let's talk about Instagram. Is Instagram dead? That is the big question that everybody in business are kind of asking right now. Like, is it worth pursuing at this point? Should I just hop over on TikTok? Like, what are we doing with Instagram? Okay, so this video, I'm gonna kind of give you some tea on what's going on with Instagram, whether it's even still worth pursuing, and kind of allow you to weigh your options a little bit. So here's the truth about Instagram. It has become the most polished platform out there right now. When you get on Instagram, and this is my Instagram specifically, yours might be different, but from what I am seeing is that it's a lot of look at me content. Like, oh my God, look at this lavish lifestyle that I'm living. Oh my God, look at these great vacations I'm going on. Oh my God, look at my outfit. Like, it's it's self-centered at this point. And so people are losing interest in the platform in itself because of the type of content that people have started to create and have essentially transformed the platform as a whole as a place that you go to look at other people, look at other people's stuff pretty much. And that is turning people away from it, because when you think about platforms like TikTok, it's people sitting in their car, just going on a rant, or there's someone that is teaching you something new. They're showing you behind the scenes of how they clean rugs, or how they make this cake, or how they do this. Like, there's so many different types of content on TikTok now that they are dominating when it comes to being authentic. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for people that they can relate to. They're looking for people that they vibe with. They're looking for people with real, genuine personalities. And that's what they're getting over on TikTok right now versus Instagram. Another truth about Instagram is that they have completely transitioned the platform to pushing reels and reels only at this point. If you ain't making reels, you ain't gonna be seen, okay? And not everybody trying to make no reels. Everybody ain't trying to make short form content, and so I feel that they really created a losing battle for themselves, because even though they're trying to copy TikTok, TikTok has the authenticity that Instagram does not have. So when people are creating reels on TikTok, when people are creating reels on Instagram, when you compare them to the short form content on TikTok, they do not match up. So even though they are enabling people to create short form content on their platform, because it has become such a polished platform as a whole with the type of content people create, people are posting like, oh, look at me, look at my outfit, look at where I'm going, look at all these lavish, like, it's the same thing, just in short form at this point. And people are not always trying to look at that. It's causing a lot of insecurities within people. It's causing a lot of depression and a lot of just different things that people are starting to deal with as humans. It's causing a lot of those emotions from people who may not be in those different categories. I know for me, I had to pull back from TikTok as a business owner, because for one, I was not really bringing in revenue from Instagram. And then two, every time I got on Instagram, I instantly started getting slapped in the face with all these accomplishments that I have not made, that I'm looking at other people make. And it can be depressing. Like, oh my God, like, this girl got 5 kids and she's taking them to Disney World. Like, how are you doing this? So it can be really emotionally damaging when you look at that type of content. So I feel like they're losing in the game when it comes to that as well. Now, when it comes to business, I will say everybody know that Instagram got people on there promoting their business. I feel like for TikTok, it's starting to get to the place where people are familiar with people promoting their business on there. It's becoming like the new normal. But Instagram has already established the platform where people know that people are, for a fact, promoting something when they have their Instagram account, because they are setting up features like the shop feature and like all these other things, swipe up so you can go to like their links and stuff like that. So when you are promoting on there, if you already have an established community, it does have the ups when it comes to that. And this one is just my personal opinion. I don't have a big following on my Instagram account, so I may be a little biased, but I feel that if you did not get in on Instagram before it reached its peak and grew your community over there, like solely from the platform, it is going to be a long shot. unless you have another platform that you are transitioning people over to Instagram. And I'm gonna talk about that a little later in this video. But growing your Instagram account solely from the platform alone, I feel is going to be so hard as a business owner, because there's so many business owners on there at this point, and a lot of people are honestly leaving Instagram and going over to other platforms. And so because Instagram has essentially shot themselves in the foot with only allowing you to do reels, where those are the only things that they're going to push, it really limits the type of content that you can create to grow your platform. And now that everybody's creating reels, it's like you're up one against so many different people, and they have not done a really good job of allowing content creators on the platform to get exposure without using their ads. Basically, if you don't use ads, it's going to be hard for you to be seen on the platform organically at this point. Another truth about Instagram, and honestly, I feel that this goes for all platforms, but we talking about Instagram. Honestly, Instagram is a time suck. It's a time suck. It's a content suck. You are constantly having to be on that hamster wheel of creating content on that platform. The last time I checked, and I ain't checked recently, but the last thing that I heard in reference to recommendations with Instagram specifically is that you need to create a certain amount of TikToks per day, or post a certain amount of TikToks per day. You need to be doing stories. You need to be doing this. You need to be using it. Now, I don't think you have to use hashtags, but I know you need to be posting a certain amount of times per day. You need to be like doing your stories, and who got time to do all of this? You know, the only reason why it would make sense for you to do that is if you already have an established community on the platform and you knew they were going to see your content. But the disadvantage that you have on Instagram as a whole is that even the people that are following you, they have it where only a certain amount, like a certain percentage of your followers are even going to see your content. And your content does not last long. It doesn't live long on the platform. So yes, it stays on there as long as you keep it on there, but you constantly have to keep producing and posting content to stay relevant on the platform, because once you create a piece of content, it basically dies off with everything else, and now you're required to create a new piece of content. Versus if you're on YouTube, people are still going to be finding your content that you posted or created years ago. Instagram does not allow you to do that. I'll even say with TikTok specifically, even if you post something like a few months ago, the algorithm will keep allowing people to see that piece of content if it is doing well. So I think that that's a disadvantage that Instagram has as well, that your content essentially dies really, really fast. And not only that, it forces you to constantly have to create new pieces of content. And reels are not easy to create. Let's just say that. Like, reels actually take time, because you have to edit them, you have to add the sound, you got to find the sound, you got to add titles. And one thing that I fell out with Instagram for is that I would spend all this time creating my reel, and then when I would post it, it would either post upside down, or the title would be halfway off the screen, or distorted, or like the thing is big, the title bubble is big, but the font is small. Like, it would literally make my reel unusable, and it would make me so angry, because I'm like, I just spent all this time creating this reel, and then when you post it on the platform, you mess it up, and I can't even repost it anymore because the work is done. So that is a time suck. It really is. And I just feel like there are other opportunities out there if you are trying to grow a platform versus using Instagram. So Instagram or TikTok? I feel that Instagram has lost to TikTok. I think that they are still trying to like hit the ground running and give it like all that it has. But I honestly feel that Instagram is losing drastically. I feel that Instagram is losing drastically to TikTok right now, and they need to just go ahead and lick their wounds and just call it a quits, because people are getting more angry and angry with the platform, and they're starting to go out and look for other options. Because if you cannot grow and get in front of people, there's only so much you're willing to put into a platform before you just throw your hands up and move to something else. I will say that when I was pursuing like brand planners full time, and I was like really pushing my brand planners on Instagram and like showing up, trying to show up every day and trying to post like based on what they were saying, how many times you're supposed to post and all this other stuff, you know, I did that for an entire year, and I feel that the amount of effort that I put into the platform did not match the reward or results that I got in business and on my platform in general. The followers, the metrics, like it just did not make sense for me to continue to pursue the platform at the pace that I was pursuing, because it was almost like your snowball continues to roll slow. Like it doesn't get faster when you're trying to grow over there organically. Now, I'm not saying that you can't grow organically over there, but when you have a business, you can't be at the mercy of the Instagram or the platform's algorithm. Like you're either going to have to run ads, or you're going to have to go to the platform that is going to reap the best results. And that's why I have since moved over to YouTube, because I feel that this is going to yield me the most results for the effort that I'm putting in. If I'm going to spend hours creating a piece of content, it's not going to be a reel that is probably going to get a couple of views, maybe even 1,000 views, but no sales or no, big thing of followers, versus if I create a YouTube video and spend a couple hours, recording, editing, getting that content up, and then that content is live and able to reach people for years and years to come. That makes more sense to me. So, do I plan on still using Instagram? Yes and no. This is something that I'm up in the fence about, because I do feel that Instagram still has the win in the area of nurturing your already existing community. So let me explain. I love Instagram stories. Instagram stories dominate every other platform, in my opinion, as far as right now, because the features that they have on Instagram stories, you can do polls, you can have questions in there, you can do like just so many different things within your stories that allows you to connect and nurture your already existing audience. So I do want to use Instagram for the stories feature alone versus using the platform to try to grow as a whole. So what my plan is, I plan on utilizing YouTube and eventually transitioning my community from YouTube over to Instagram if I decide to even go that route. But that's what I'm thinking, so that I can communicate and interact with my community through stories. So I'm not necessarily really worried about posting like Instagram reels or anything like that. I more so want to use the platform for the stories alone, because even with Facebook, I have a lot of people on my Facebook page, but the downside is the features on Instagram or on Facebook stories do not compare to Instagram stories. I have tried to post Facebook stories and they don't even allow you to post this, like the length of content, versus on Instagram. Like for Instagram, they have a certain amount per story slot, but you can continue to record and it'll just go to the next slot. Versus on Facebook, you have to record, I think within like 25 seconds, and then it's gonna stop, period. And so it's just little things that I think Instagram has an up and up over when it comes to other platforms that has stories. Even TikTok, their stories are trash right now. Like, I don't even watch people's stories over there. I feel that they are dominating with short form content, with the For You page. So I digress. Another thing that Instagram really is dominating with right now is, unfortunately, that's still the default platform. So when you do a speaking engagement, or if you're out in person, or if you're doing an interview or something like that, a lot of the times the first thing that people want to know is, what's your Instagram? And your Instagram and the metrics of your Instagram kind of determines like how people view you and your business. Really, because you can be like Facebook, I feel people say it's going out, but I feel like it's not going out. It just depends on who you're trying to reach, I guess. Because I'm still on Facebook. That is my primary platform. But when you do a speaking engagement, you don't really hear people like, oh, go follow me or add me on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, normally people follow you to stay connected with you on Instagram. TikTok does not really have the up and up with this yet, because even if you follow someone on TikTok, it's not really the platform that you go to check up on people that you follow, because the For You page is going to show you a lot of random people. It's going to show you some people that you're following. It's going to show you some people that you're not. And even if you go over to the following part, a lot of people do not use that. I know for me, I personally never use it. I never use that side where it's all your followers that you're keeping up with. And TikTok is so random that you don't know who you're going to see. It's almost like, oh, I forgot about you. Oh, cool, I seen your piece of content. But you're not going on there and being like, oh, let me see what this person is doing, right? I hope that makes sense. With Instagram, you're going on there for specific people, to keep up with specific people. Even I do that. I only click on specific people's stories that I want to keep up with. So I feel that Instagram still has like the up and up when it comes to that. And then too, when it comes to metrics, I kind of hit on this already, but your Instagram metrics is going to be way more powerful than your TikTok metrics or your Facebook metrics. When it comes to sponsorships and brand deals, they are going to look at your Instagram metrics, how many followers you have, do you have an engaged audience, how many likes and comments are you getting? Like, they're going to look at all that stuff from Instagram versus on your Facebook. And now, don't get me wrong, like sponsorship or sponsors and brands, they do work with TikTok creators as well. But from what I have heard, I have not personally got paid for a brand deal on TikTok specifically, but I have heard that brands pay a lot less for sponsorships under TikTok because of the nature of the platform. And so I feel that the Instagram is kind of dominating when it comes to you wanting brand deals and needing the metrics and the community over there in order for that to make sense for you to get those opportunities. So the last thing I want to cover before I get off of here is, if you're just like, girl, I hear you, but I still want to have my Instagram account, don't feel bad, because I kind of feel like that too. It's like right now I have one post on there. I deleted all my previous posts, but I have one post on there, and it's an old post. It's not even like recent. But I am still going back and forth about what I want to do with my Instagram account for right now, because I'm trying to stay focused. And if you are trying to grow your Instagram account, this is what I would suggest you do in order to like grow your following and your community on the platform. The first thing is get a YouTube channel. Like, have you a YouTube channel? And I know that this may sound like really dramatic or drastic, but normally when you get a YouTube channel and you create your community on YouTube, they organically go over to Instagram as the secondary platform. They want to follow you off of YouTube to keep up with you, and normally that platform is Instagram. So when your YouTube channel starts to blow up, your Instagram will start to grow without you even having to worry about doing a ton of reels or doing a ton of this, and you can really just do stories on the platform and nurture your community over there. So YouTube is going to be like the top way that I recommend for you to grow your Instagram. Use the community that you have on that platform and pull them off to your Instagram account. The second way that I would suggest you grow your Instagram is by doing in-person speaking engagements, or by not even just in-person, online speaking engagements, whether that is podcast interviews, online conferences, anything where you are speaking to a good amount of people, a good size audience, and you can plug in your Instagram. So what I would recommend if you're doing speaking engagement, don't do it where you have like a setup or something on the side and you're like, hey, subscribe or follow my Instagram here. I would actually put it in your speaking engagement. Like, I would put it in your speech. I've seen a lot of people that will be on the stage, and in the middle of their engagement or whatever, or even at the beginning, they'll say, hey, pull out your phone real quick and follow me on Instagram. This is my handle. And so if you do it right then and there, if you're in an audience or a room full of 100 people or 1,000 people or whatever, even if you get a small percentage of those people to follow you, you're growing your following, and these are people that have already had that in-person interaction with you or have already heard you online doing your interview or whatever. And so that's how you're going to be growing your Instagram account, through those in-person interactions. Another way that I recommend for you to grow your Instagram is through your email list. So as you're building your email list and you're nurturing your community that's on your email list, then you can every so often plug your Instagram account. Like, hey, have you followed me on Instagram? You know, click this link to follow me real quick. Because if you have like 25,000 people on your email list, it should be pretty easy to get those people to convert over to followers on Instagram. Now, you're not gonna get all of them, but if you do it every so often and you rotate that in your emails that you're gonna be sending out, eventually you're gonna start growing your Instagram account from people that are already on your email list. And those are people that should already be familiar with you and your brand, so it should be easy to transition them over to a social media account. And then the last way is Reels. Reels will be my last recommendation. I'm not saying that Reels don't work. I do believe that they work. I have seen people go viral with Reels and still only have 1,000 followers on Instagram. So it really just depends on what type of content you are creating under your Reels, but it is very possible for you to grow your Instagram account by doing really good Reels, but I would not put all of my eggs in that basket at all. I would focus on creating Reels to either nurture the community that's already there, whether it's behind the scenes of you doing stuff, or if you're teaching, maybe like teaching some content or teaching some whatever it is based on your industry. But I would not solely create Reels like to grow my Instagram account as the only strategy. I would definitely utilize the other 3 that I mentioned and have the people that are already following your brand transition over to Instagram and just nurture them over there. And then to get brand new eyes, you can create Reels as like a last option to like grow your account. So like I said, these are my opinions, taken with a grain of salt. Okay, because you might not agree with everything that I said, but I said what I said and I believe what I believe. Okay, because I have been on the platform for so many years, and for me personally as a business owner, I am over it. I'm over Instagram. But I do feel that as a business owner, it is technically still a business requirement in reference to how you want to nurture your community. That is a really good way to nurture your community. So instead of me worrying about the metrics per se on my Instagram, I'm more so focusing on nurturing my community on Instagram as a secondary platform. But like I said what I said. I feel how I feel. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Make sure if you got to the end, make sure you hit subscribe so that you can get more tips on business, systems, planning. I have so much coming up for you guys. I'm so excited. But I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye.